Welcome back to Battle of the Brains, presented by Virginia 529 College Savings Plan.
And here are the scores as we head now into the final round here on Battle of the Brains. First Colonial High School with 180 points, Granby High School with 125 points. Now for this final toss-up round, the point score for a correct answer is doubled, and there is no deduction for an incorrect answer. And again, in this virtual version of Battle of the Brains, we're directing questions to teams or alternating between them in these timed rounds. We're going to start this first toss-up round. The alternation goes to Granby High School right now. Your question: what is the term for electrons in the outer shell of an atom that are responsible for the chemical properties of the atom? Navale.
Valence electrons.
That is correct. First Colonial: while banished for 3 years, this man sailed 500 miles to west to find Cape Farewell. He returned to Iceland in 986 to find settlers to bring to the new land. Name this Viking discoverer of Greenland, the father of Leif Erikson. Anderson.
Eric the Red.
That is correct. Granby. In his book, The Grapes of Wrath, John Steinbeck called this the Mother Road. Name this 2,400-mile highway that starts in Chicago and ends in Los Angeles. Navali.
Route 66.
That is correct. First Colonial: which Irish author of music criticism, like the perfect Wagnerite, also wrote plays Peasant and Unpleasant, such as The Major Barbara and Pygmalion? Anderson.
Shaw.
George Bernard Shaw is correct. Granby: the placement of this building relative to those nearby may be an earthly reflection of Orion's belt. Name this tomb of Khufu near the Great Sphinx of Giza. Matthew.
The Great Pyramid.
That is correct. First Colonial: James Madison was the first American president to use this technique. What is the term that a bill passed by Congress does not become law when the president does nothing after 10 days, excluding Sundays when Congress is not in session? Anderson.
Pocket veto.
That is correct. Granby: this island, named for the Dutch explorer who sighted it in 1642, has its capital at Hobart. Name this Australian island with a namesake wolf and devil. Matthew.
Tasmania.
Correct. First Colonial: James Bond's gadget master, Q, has appeared in nearly all of the films. Q is actually an abbreviation of a military title and the character's occupation. What is this term? Anderson.
Quartermaster.
Quartermaster is correct. Granby: what is the well-known aphorism described by this alternate terminology? Members of an avian species of identical plumage congregate. Mark.
Birds of a feather fly together.
Repeat for me, please.
Birds of a feather fly together.
The judge is saying no. It's birds of a feather flock together. First Colonial: this unusual plant grows in the southern part of the United States. Name this insectivore that can take up to 12 days to digest an insect. Grace.
Venus flytrap.
Correct. Granby: in 1995, a routine traffic stop by Chicago police reclaimed a $650,000 stolen painting by which famous artist, whose works include The Blue Room and Guernica? Matthew.
Picasso.
Pablo Picasso is correct. First Colonial: the War of the Spanish Succession was fought during the 72-year reign of what French Sun King? Anderson.
Louis XIV.
Correct. Granby: this book's depiction of inhumane conditions led to the passage of the Pure Food and Drug Act. Name this expose of the meatpacking industry written by Upton Sinclair. Matthew.
The Jungle.
That is correct. First Colonial: what term in physics is defined as a unit of work equal to 10 to the 7th power, or 1 Newton, through a distance of 1 meter? Anderson.
A watt.
It would be a joule. And that buzzer is the end of our game. While our judges double-check the final score and determine who will go on to play for the season championship, here's a reminder of how to stay connected with us here at Battle of the Brains. To find out more about our show, just log on to battleofthebrains.net. You'll also find Battle of the Brains on Facebook and full episodes of our show on our YouTube page. And join us next week for the championship match as the final two teams standing this season face off. The team from Douglas Freeman High School of Richmond will play today's winner, and that is First Colonial High School of Virginia Beach. Congratulations. The final score of 300 points sends you to the finals here on Battle of the Brains this year. Great job today by Kelsey, Anderson, Justice, and Grace. And our runners-up in today's match, great job by our team from Granby High School, Mark, Matthew, Nathan, and Navali. Thanks for playing along. And we're looking forward to that championship game coming up next week. I'm Cheryl Miller. Thanks so much for watching and playing along here on Battle of the Brains. We'll see you next week.
Battle of the Brains, presented by Virginia 529 College Savings Plan.